Welcome to Season 3, Episode 11 of the Business Matters podcast from the Wind Technology Studio. Thank you to our media sponsor, Home Tech by Mosaic. Today, we are going to be talking about moving tips and tricks, a stress-free move for your business or home with Sally Flinck from Two Men and a Truck. Today, we're going to be hearing about some practical moving tips, how to plan ahead, avoid common mistakes, and how businesses can prepare for office relocations or expansions. I want to welcome Sally and let her do a quick introduction.
Thank you so much for having me. So as you mentioned, my name is Sally Flinck, and I am the Director of Marketing and Sales for Two Men and a Truck here in the Eau Claire area. A little bit about Two Men and a Truck. So we have been around since 1985 as a whole company. However, we have been in Eau Claire since 2021. So we are coming up. We just celebrated 5 years here. And we are the largest moving company across the country. However, we are local. We're a franchise business, so we're local to Eau Claire. And we do anything and everything when it comes to moving. So we make it as easy or as simple as you want. We can pack for you. We can move big items, small items. You don't even have to be actually moving to use our services. We can, if you're getting your floors done or just need exercise equipment moved up and down the stairs, we can do that too. So when it comes to moving, we've pretty much seen it all. And it's like if you were to ask some of our movers what they've seen, they can give you some pretty interesting stories, which is funny.
That would make for a fun podcast.
Oh yeah, that's one of our favorite questions.
Or
to
some
ask.
reels.
Yeah, we one of them actually went in and it was like a full taxidermy home, and just all kinds from a fox to a elk to, literally anything you could think of.
When you find your hobby, right?
Yeah, that's
you find your
right,
hobby.
right. So, and we can move that kind of stuff. So let us know.
So one of the things I wanted to ask you is that Two Men and a Truck, the inception of the company, has a really interesting background and history, and I think our listeners would love to hear what that was.
Sure. So Two Men and a Truck started with, yes, two men and a truck, but the actual founder of our company is the mother of the two men. So single mom, Mary Ellen Sheets, started the company. Her sons wanted some extra money over the summer. So they actually started as trash removal with their pickup truck. She put an ad in the paper for them, and they started getting calls about moving help. People needed help moving. And they ended up, they helped throughout the summer, and then they ended up going back to school. And Mary Ellen said, there's a business here. And at that time, that moving companies were not really a thing. I mean, this was 40 years ago. So she bought a box truck and put some stickers on. If you look at the very first box truck, it's even like some of the stickers are like mismatched letters, and it's really funny. And she really started one of the first moving companies in the country.
That's so cool. Do you know anything about the history? You had mentioned with moving companies just growing in popularity over time. Do you think that dynamic is just because families are so much more separated now? A lot more moving is happening around the country. Do you know anything about kind of seeing that growth with moving companies? Because I know your franchise in particular has grown a ton and has advanced and expanded quite a bit as well.
Yeah, and I feel like moving companies we've seen more and more coming into the industry, and I think it's just an ease and a stress reliever. People have realized this is something that people don't do that often, but a lot of people do it. So it's really it's something that it takes a stress off of people. And if you can take stress out of people's lives, then you pretty much have a business there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's created a solution for the masses
Yep.
in
Yep.
this case.
And that's, we move every day and we don't necessarily, yes, we come into stressful situations all the time. But moving in my eyes and our movers' eyes and our manager's eyes, we don't see it as something that is overly stressful. However, if you're not doing it but once every 7 to 10 years, and you have a family, you have young kids, or you are empty nesters and you've been in your home for 40 years, there's so many different stress factors in that it can be overwhelming really quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially if you've been in your house over probably anywhere near 5 years, I would imagine you start to accumulate things.
Yes. And that's why we have 2 men in a junk truck as well. So we can come in and empty out your house for you and get rid of the things that you don't want to go to your new house.
Yeah, it's not like Midwesterners stay in their homes for long stretches of time or anything here.
Right. Yeah. We've seen a lot of people lately that it's 40, 50 years and they're either downsizing or it's time to go to a 55 plus community or assisted living. So we do a lot of that, and that's where our two companies come together, and we're able to help clean out as well as move the stuff that matters to your new place.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us a little bit more about the services that you've offered. You've used some examples here, but who locally are the types of folks that you work with?
Anyone that has a moving need. So we do work residentially. That has typically been our bread and butter for a long time. However, a lot of people don't know that we do business moves, and of all kinds. So whether it is the business moving itself to a new office, or if it is somehow we can take a stress off of a company. So, for example, interior decorating or staging or businesses that are moving furniture around a lot. We also help with those types of things too, because some of them don't want to have to rent a box truck every time they need to move something, or they don't want the overhead of having a box truck, and where are they going to store it? So they partner with us. We move the items wherever they need them to go. And then we make it easy for them. They don't have to touch it even. So we do a lot of that kind of stuff. And that is something that's kind of like a hidden gem that people don't realize that we do. Mm-hmm. We do also offer packing services and a full line of boxes, packing materials, tape, stretch wrap, everything of that. So when we do offer packing services, we bring all of that with us, so you don't have to provide anything, and you don't have to touch anything other than like your typical valuables and things like that you would pack yourself. But full kitchens, closets, you name it. Mm-hmm. So even if you are last minute in a pinch, I've got to move out of my house in 3 days, and I haven't done anything, typically we can make that happen for you, and you can sit back and say, yep, that's good, and done. And it's really nice because we, being professional movers and packers, it's the chances of things breaking are a lot less likely when you have people that know how to pack. We used to say, like, pack the items as if, like, if it were to fall from the truck, like, it would not. You would be able to open that box and still everything would be
wow, what
safe.
A safety net.
Yeah. So we don't want that to happen, but
prepared for the eventuality.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then we also offer storage as well. So if closings don't line up, or you're not actually moving, or you're getting your floors redone and need items out of your house for a few days, or you're renovating, or literally for whatever reason you're renting for 6 months because you're building a new house. We can hold those items for you and make it completely streamlined. So you don't have to go and find a mini storage and communicate with them and book that. You can also, so you work with us, we take the items to our storage, and then you just tell us when to bring them back, and they'll be there on that day.
What do you think sets you apart in the moving industry, from other competitors locally or even nationally that exist here?
Yeah, I think mainly we're customer service focused, one. We are also background check, drug tested, as well as we are truly professionally trained movers. And I know you see that a lot. And I do just want to state, in the state of Wisconsin, it's not any kind of regulated state for moving companies.
So it sounds like you just go above and beyond to ensure that safety with going into homes and businesses with the employees that you hire.
We do. So we actually are putting our movers and drivers through a full multi-day training before they ever go out to a customer's home. They are actually going on the truck, basically being put through mock moves before we ever let them touch somebody else's stuff, because one, we don't want to risk injuring themselves, because there are a lot of different lifting techniques and moving techniques, and
Sure.
working with a partner on moving things that people don't realize. And then obviously the obvious reason of we don't want to damage items and damage people's homes. I mean, this is people's possessions, and a lot of it costs a lot of money. And we're as I mentioned before, we're here to make lives less stressful. So, and that is our goal. So we really put our standards above and beyond what you would consider for any other normal moving company. And I mean, we've been doing it. Our owner and franchise group, we've been doing it for 26 years at this point.
Wow. That's a really long, I didn't realize you had been there that long.
Well, I haven't been
okay.
there.
The company itself, I guess, in our region. Then, so.
Yes. So our owner, so a little background, we did start in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and our franchise group has expanded over into Wisconsin. We have 3 locations over here, Eau Claire being our very first one. But our actual owner, the little story, he actually started with 2 Men in a Truck as a mover in Madison while he was in college. And his dad was entrepreneurial spirit, and had just sold a furniture business and looking to get into something else. And Nick mentioned to his dad, what about 2 Men in a Truck, and thinking about that. And Nick knew the whole operation side of 2 Men in a Truck, and Dan knew the business side, or Dave knew the business side. And so they opened 2 Men in a Truck in Burnsville, Minnesota. And then Dave has since passed, but then Nick is our sole owner and now has the entire Twin Cities metro as well as the locations over here in Wisconsin.
I love hearing build it from the ground up stories, especially folks that have just started from the bottom. They no one will know it as well inside and out, and have the respect for employees that come in at entry level or ground floor. So that's
and I
really
really
cool.
think that's something that sets us apart too. So with the exception of just a handful of us, and I mean, I started as a boots on the ground marketing coordinator, but the majority we really think about from promoting from within. And every single one of our members of our operations team started on the trucks. So including Nick. So both of our presidents, so president of 2 Men in a Truck and president of 2 Men in a Junk Truck, both started as movers and drivers. And that continues to bleed down. We want to give people the opportunity. A lot of people see the moving business as something, okay, this is just my next job until I find something else. It is a hard job. We'll give them that all day long. Moving and the labor that it takes to do that is not an easy job, especially in the coldest days of winter here in the Midwest, and then the hottest days as well. And but the fact that if you are interested in the company and passionate about the industry, it can be a career. Um, and I think that's something every single one of our managers knows what it's like to be out there. And that is too why we actually, from a 2 minute and a truck standpoint, have one of the lowest turnover rates in the country. But definitely a much lower turnover rate than most moving companies, and just industry wide.
That's pretty incredible. You seem pretty passionate about it. What keeps you around and working for this company?
The funny thing is I started with 2 men in a truck in Tennessee. So I don't know if anyone here will pick up this southern accent that I have, but
it's probably pretty likely.
It's probably
slightly different from the Midwest accent.
I've been told from my family that I'm starting to sound like a Midwesterner. I'm not sure I hear it though. But I actually started with 2 men in a truck in Tennessee. I was there for 5 years in the Nashville area and left. I had an opportunity to go and do marketing at a restaurant group, and I took that opportunity, and it tells you something about the company when they ask, hey, would you not only come back but move to the Midwest and come work for 2 Men in a Truck again? And you say yes. So it's the culture of the company is, I think it's the passion that is exuded through everyone, from ownership down, and it's we're changing people's lives. And I know that sounds silly that we're just moving their houses, but I have seen the stress that people have had. And as I mentioned before, these people that have been in their homes 40, 50 years, this is something that they haven't dealt with pretty much their entire life. And it's a very emotional situation too. It's all they've known for their adult life, and we work through them with that. We're not just taking their stuff. We're having conversations with them. What's important to them? What can we do to make this easier? What can we do to make it exciting? And yeah, it's an amazing company. If you had asked me 10 years ago if I would be so passionate about the moving industry and now the junk industry, which I think is even funny, me saying I'm passionate about junk. I would probably be like, no. But I mean, I even met my husband through 2 Men in a Truck. So we're a whole 2 Men in a Truck family, really.
It's incredible where, work life and personal life can intersect sometimes. So.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what it means to plan for a successful move. How do people find you? What are best tips to engage with 2 Men in a Truck and 2 Men in a Junk Truck if they were to hire you? For sure.
So my biggest tip going into the season that we are going to be in. So I think everybody knows that, and maybe not, but May through September it's our busy season. We call it our busy season. We flow a lot with the real estate market, and when kids get out of school and houses start going up for sale, obviously moving companies start to get busier and busier. So we always say, one, plan ahead. Like as soon as you get an offer on your home, even before. I mean, we don't have our cancellation policy is 48 hours before. So even if you put your house on the market and just want to get an idea of what that cost is going to look like, give us a call. We're happy to get that estimate for you, and you can tell us, my house hasn't sold yet. I'm just trying to plan and budget. Fantastic. We love that. Because if we can help you be more prepared, we would rather that than you scurrying around 3 days before. We can definitely help you 3 days before, but if you want to have that planned move and that exact day that you're looking for, then my best advice is plan early. Be thinking about it from the time, if you're even thinking about moving, go ahead and be thinking about, what am I going to do for moving? Who am I going to call? If I'm going to call a couple of different locations, and also think about, what kind of questions am I going to ask? All different types of moving companies have different ways that they price things.
So, what would you suggest for our listeners if they were going to ask you or call you up to get a quote? What are some of the questions you wish they would ask? I imagine you're prompting them through some of this when they call, but
One is, make a list before you give us a call. So, and we know we are in a digital world, and we do have opportunity for you to also do all of this online as well. I still am old school, and I think you get the best quote when you're just talking through it with somebody, especially people that are quoting these estimates day in and day out. And our customer service team is amazing. They do such a great job at quoting these jobs. But making a list beforehand, and making sure you have double checked, do you have a basement storage room that has a bunch of stuff in it that you might forget? What's your garage look like? Do you have things up in the rafters? I mean, my family, we do. And does that stuff need to come down? Do we need to move that? Back storage sheds, things like that. Those things all get missed so many times on estimates, and then the crews get out there and they say, I completely forgot I have a completely full storage shed. And then obviously that takes a turn. It's going to take longer for the move to be done. If you're paying on an hourly rate, the move is going to be more expensive then. So we're trying to eliminate as many of those blindsided situations as we possibly can. Another thing is asking, this is something we are bonded and insured and covered in all of those aspects. There are moving companies that aren't. So making sure to ask those questions, and you can get a pretty good feel for when a company is not, because they'll be like, oh, well, we usually just like cover and do this and do that. And what is your damage policy? If, we're moving, 10,000 people a year, and obviously our goal is to never damage anything. We never want that to happen. Is it going to happen? Absolutely. And while we try to avoid that, it's important for the customer to know what that damage policy is ahead of time, so they're not left high and dry. If you damage a TV, because there are regulations and things about what companies have to like pay out.
okay.
And it's, if you don't have any other kind of coverage, you could end up only being paid out $10 for your 60-inch TV. Like, it's
So create a list and know what your current coverages are, what the company is going to cover for you
correct.
during that move. So in speaking to preparedness, is there anything that folks can do, prior to that call or just after that call to help your team be more efficient on site?
I think the biggest thing is, because we work on an hourly rate. We have a 1 hour minimum. After that, we don't charge by, you get this many men. We charge by the man, by the truck. It gets really confusing. So we say we have one standard rate for 2 men and 1 truck. If you need more than that, we'll price out for more. So we say, if you want to have your move go as efficiently as possible, one, having everything packed before we get there. It happens more times than not that people are not fully ready. if you're able to and want your move to go faster, have your beds disassembled. And just, you don't have to take them out of the room, but if you can just take the mattress and box spring, throw them up on their side, pull the rails off, and just have them sitting there, that allows our team to come in, wrap them, pat them, wrap them, and get them out the door. Same thing with TVs, having the TVs already off the walls. So anything
I imagine that could be difficult, trying to figure out how some of those are positioned on the wall, or what the system they have, or just that could be really interesting.
Yeah. So
the last thing you want to fall off is some of those expensive technologies too.
Exactly. And we do, by policy, we always put TVs in TV boxes. So if they don't have the original box for the TV, which a lot of us don't, we do have TV boxes that we put all the TVs in to keep them safe. And then having your boxes all stacked, even room by room, like having them just stacked by the door in the room, because we can go in and we can move those fast, and that actually sheds a lot of time off of your move. It's just being fully prepared when we come in and get ready.
You mentioned that 2 Men in a Truck has been in the Eau Claire area how long?
5 years.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you seen in that time as far as, expansion and business growth for the Eau Claire area specifically?
Well, let's say we've grown in the fact, so we were actually in Eastridge Center for the first 3 years. No storage. I think everyone probably knows what Eastridge Center is, and it's a mall. And our trucks were parked out back. I think we had one truck to start, then we added a second. Now we've moved out a little closer to Altoona, and have a full building that is our own, that we've now have 4 trucks out here. And then we also have a junk truck. So providing junk removal services as well as storage opportunity at this location. From the community, the community is always growing. Like it's grown massively since we've gotten here. We've enjoyed being able to move people, and the support of the community has really been great.
So let's talk a little bit about the business side of things. I think we've covered residential pretty well here. How does a business approach an opportunity to move with you guys or connect with you guys as they look at improving their operations, or going through, so many of our businesses are going through expansions or rebuilds or remodels here?
Yeah. So this is something that we have really put a focus on in the past year. We actually have a business-to-business specialist that works with us, and he is amazing. He literally will never tell a business we can't do something, and we have moved things like food shelves, pizza ovens, like huge ginormous pizza ovens that are almost as tall as the ceiling. It's been really cool. So, but for businesses that are looking to, if they're either expanding and going into a new office that is bigger, or even downsizing, we help a lot of businesses that they've changed their business model, and a lot of their employees are working from home now, and they don't need the office space that they once had. Is having Luke, our B2B manager, go out there, and he really kind of holds their hand through the whole process. What is it going to look like, 2 weeks before a month before the move, 2 weeks before the move, day of move. And we do actually have business focused movers that are trained on cubicles, desk equipment, filing cabinets, computer equipment, things like that you might not see every single day. But again, is that making sure it's early, and then in the planning process, but also making sure getting our business manager out there is the key, and that is something that happens with us that doesn't happen with a lot of other companies.
So as we wind down here on the podcast, how do businesses or folks who are looking to downsize or expand, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, they can find us on our website. If you go to 2meninatruck.com, and then I always say the easiest way is just find a location nearest you, and it will be that Eau Claire location. And you can find our phone number on there, our website, or all of our social media. Follow us on social media. We do have a Facebook page that is completely focused on Wisconsin, so you can see what we're doing in the community. We love to do community events. We're actually doing one this weekend here. So we do a program called Movers for Moms, and it's all focused on women and children that have suffered from domestic violence. But we are doing a yoga event for moms and their kids. So a Mom and Me yoga event here in Eau Claire.
We participated in the Moms for Movers last year, and I think poor Mercedes had to come and pick up the stuff in the boxes we had here 3 different times because we had so many donations. So I think, it's something we would definitely, participate in the future. We have a very generous community.
Yes, we love it. You guys, that was the first year, and it was fantastic. But go to our website. You can also see any kind of moving tips. We've got tons on there. We have a blog that kind of goes over everything from business to business jobs, and residential packing tips, things like that. And then you can request an estimate right there, or you can give us a call right from our website at 2meninatruck.com.
Well, Sally, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I think our listeners are really going to appreciate your insight and advice on how to partner and work directly with a local company like you. I want to thank our media sponsor, Home Tech by Mosaic, and make some quick announcements from the Eau Claire Chamber. Our Bravo to Business is coming up this fall in November, and our nominations are now open. We have 6 different categories for businesses. If you know of a great business that should be nominated, please go to our website at eauclairchamber.org to send in those nominations so we can get those really deserving companies the recognition that they need. And then for those listening who want to join us at our next networking event, if you're new to the area, you're looking to connect locally, Morning Momentum will be held on Tuesday, May 12th from 7:30 to 9 out at Valley Sports Academy. And you can find any of those details for upcoming events at eauclairchamber.org.